Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
How are you?
Oh, I was so waiting for this.
Oh, good.
Finally, I can sit down.
Yes, exactly.
You have a lot of windows open.
Yes, I do. Always. Story of my life.
Me too.
Always. I actually just closed some.
Yeah, I have the same. I have the same
Yeah.
situation. So,
Okay. I'll get into, no, I'll leave it like this for a little bit and then I can see who's coming in. Oh. Good morning, everyone. See a couple people popping in there. I guess I can shut down some of this. That might want that one. Might want that one. Don't need that one. Don't need that one. Oops. There we go. Now you can't see all my messy windows. Good morning, guys. We will probably wait like maybe about 3 minutes or so to get started. Just wait until a couple more people show up. What that's. Good morning. We'll just wait a couple more minutes, probably like 2 more minutes until we get going, and then I'll start. I want to respect your time for being here on time, but just want a couple more people to hopefully jump in and we can get going. I'm excited to talk about this one today. I spent the last couple of days putting this together, so yay. Good morning. Yeah, so just do like two more minutes and then we'll get rolling. And if through the class you have any questions, just either drop them into the chat or just unmute yourself and let me know. Have a conversation. Okay, I think that I'm going to get started. I don't want to run it too late. I don't think that will be any longer than an hour today, probably 45 minutes or so. Typically in this class, we talk about marketing ways to prospect for new business. We talk about farming. We talk about a variety of different just listed and just sold ideas. However, I didn't think that now would be a pertinent time to discuss those things, kind of given what's going on and that we are going through this shift. So although we'll run that course again, maybe when we kind of come into some more normalcy, I thought that it would probably be a better use of your time and our time to talk about creative ideas to market during a shift. So what I've done over the last week and a half is reach out to, I mastermind with a couple of different groups, team leaders, managers, brokers. We talk to agents who have, gone through a variety of different shifts in the market before and how they actually, use some creative ideas for marketing. Because it is, we know this is going to be here for a little bit. We've all discussed that. So we do need to market our business, right? But that is getting increasingly difficult to do that in a very kind of safe place. So what I've done is I've gone through and put together a couple of different ideas. So this is not the time to be running a normal marketing or prospecting campaign. If you do have anything that's going out in that online space or in that print space, it'd definitely be a time to stop it or really consider changing the message there. So it's really a time to provide value, really a time to be a resource, and a time to connect with your community. And you can market in all of those different ways. You can market yourself and market your business. So there are four really main areas that you can concentrate on to market yourself during a shift. So you can provide quick and valuable information. I say quick because this is a very rapidly changing environment that we're in. And so the quicker that you can be that resource and provide that valuable information, the better it is for you and for your clients in the long run. Community awareness, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about fun or experiences, some different creative ideas that you can put together for your clients, and as well ways to market your listings differently through a shift. So in order to be a resource or a source of information, regardless of the reason for the market shift, people are looking for trusted and valuable information right now, right? So they want current affairs, what is going on, they want to know how it affects them. They want to know how it affects their money, and they want to know how it affects their future, right? So when you are talking about information or providing value, those are the items, that you want to keep in mind. So if you attended the hour with Tim yesterday, he talked about, again, current affairs, what's happening in the market, what's happening with a variety of different things within our industry. He was talking about how it affects, you and your family, how it affects your money, and how it affects your future. So those are three areas that you want to consider when you are, trying to be that source of value and information for your clients. So I'm going to go through a couple of ideas of how to share that information and swiftly. Again, this is a rapidly changing environment, and we do want to stay on top of it. Things that, were happening yesterday or the day before aren't, necessarily, maybe they've changed, right? And so we do have to stay on top of things. So one way to do that is a weekly email to your database. I know we've talked a lot about this. I subscribe to, and I've got actual agent examples throughout this whole class today. So I subscribe to this e-newsletter. This is Paul Peterson. He's not one of our agents. I believe that he is with Blue Elephant, but in Toronto. And he moved his news from monthly to weekly. And he is providing some kind of information or piece of value throughout the week, right? So this was just last Friday. It was obviously Good Friday. You know, he's talking a little bit about the short week, how this is our first holiday since COVID, you know, kind of arrived. And he's talking a little bit about what that looks and feels like, right? So just telling a little bit of a story with his weekly email and with his marketing. He goes into detail about what people have reached out for, right? So frequently asked questions. He talks about that. What people are asking, right? So what people are asking, if there's any deals to be had. Of course, obviously that's a good question. He's talking about the low interest rates that are happening and how there is basically zero competition. We know that that is market specific or area specific. And he talks about how that can be attractive, right? And then he starts to get into the numbers. So, you know, maybe they're selling for 7 and 8 below market value. What I really like is that he goes into this kind of story. So he says, to give you a good example of what's happening right now, on Wednesday, I contacted a realtor who listed highly motivated seller in the brokerage remarks. And you can see that right there, you know, on my screen. So he made an offer for his client. It was 40K below the asking price, but still 3% above market value. And they were able to put that deal together. So he's going into a little bit of a story, which makes it a little bit more relatable, right, for your clients. And then he gets to the point. So the point of the story is that it's a good snapshot of the mentality of Toronto sellers, right? Where they're at. We all know that sellers have been spoiled over the last, you know, probably a couple of years, to be totally honest. And then he's talking about, you know, what has happened in the market since then. And then in the 3 or 4 weeks, what he suspects he's going to start to see. So maybe again, talking a little bit about that, how it's important to their family, how it's important to their finances, and then a little bit into the future, right? And then it'll be interesting to see what his weekly email comes down to this week. But I just thought it was a really great piece of information, and something that you can, you know, do as well for your clients, so that you are top of mind. You are the go-to for the resource of what's happening within Toronto real estate. Another thing that I'm seeing a lot of that, and also a lot of success, is these very detailed social media posts. So, you know, whether it is Facebook, Instagram, whatever it might be. This is a realtor who's on the east side of the city. And he is, you know, again, breaking it down in that details, week number 7. So I guess he's probably looking at kind of when this really started officially coming to town, and where they're at, right? So he did do a video that went along with it, but I really liked the points that were here. So the number, as predicted, houses bounce back, right? Buyer confidence, you know, seems to have returned. Entry-level luxury market saw a little bit more activity. The number should hold next week. Talking about condo buyers, home buyers, and that. So he's going deep into the details within the market, which is, I think that's very important for our clients right now. They actually want to know number of sales, where the price range is, what the difference is, you know, from the beginning of this or from even the beginning of the year. And again, even though we don't have a crystal ball, they might want to know what that might mean moving forward. Again, we can't always be 100% sure. But we can look at history, and then also the conversations that we're all having together, right? So, and the magic here is in the details. So we've been doing, for the last couple of years, we've been posting monthly market updates, right? Both us as a brokerage and you guys as agents. I really think now is the time that we need to get into the nitty gritty details. You know, prices going up 7% or prices going down 7% isn't really going to cut it. Your clients need to know all of the nitty gritty, right? And all of that information, this is just pulled from Treb. You know, whether he's done home searches, sales searches, all of that, right? So really, they really are going to need to know the nitty gritty right now. That's also going to separate you as being a specialist in your area. This, particular person, just based on, the details there, I'd be inclined to ask him further, right? Ask him more information. So again, you want to separate yourself from the pack that's out there. Again, typically our market updates will say, we saw 24 days on market or 1 day on market or price increase, price decrease, whatever it might be. But now is a time to really get nitty gritty and into the details. So you need to start studying your market on a weekly basis while we go through this, right? Again, because each week is changing. So another idea that I've seen that's going around that seems to be relatively popular is these virtual seminars. I don't know if you were doing them before for your clients in a real live kind of like classroom environment. I miss the classroom as well, but these virtual buyer and seller seminars or investor seminars are a really great way to connect with maybe people that you don't even know or people that are in your database that you haven't contacted in quite some time. This is Alexandra. She is out in Prince Edward County. So she did a buyer seminar for purchasing a home in a rural region, right? We know that that is different, from Toronto, obviously. But she attended that. I followed up. I think she said she had like 15 people, show up, and she's going to be doing another one at the end of April. Again, just having the sheer amount of people that are showing up into these virtual environments is a time that you necessarily maybe wouldn't get them to come into a classroom, right? If you were doing it at our office or you were doing it at some location around the city, people are more apt to attend when they can be comfortable at home. And so, now might be a really good time to look at doing one of those seminars in that virtual environment, right? And this can be on any number of topic. It doesn't have to be real estate related. It doesn't have to just be for buyers and sellers, right? If you sat in on our Danny Wood session last Friday, he had a really great idea. You can kind of, and this is kind of getting into community awareness, which we will talk about next. You could put together a little small virtual BIA, right, in your area or with the friends' businesses that you know. This would be a good time to get all of them together. Everybody, as you know, is suffering, right? Small businesses. So now you could actually like maybe host a virtual BIA, get them to talk about, what they're maybe doing to promote their business, what you can do to help promote their business, all of that. So that was another really great idea. Any sort of like virtual kind of information session. So on the CREB, right now we're pretty well versed in that. Maybe bring that down to your clients or to your database. So hold a night where you're going to talk about what that CRB is, the relief fund is, maybe bring in an accountant who can help explain the process through the CRA to get it, things like that. And again, as this continues on and as things start to unfold, it might become a place where on a weekly basis, you can just hold this resource information night for your client or for your database, right? Okay, move on. Any questions, comments, concerns? No? Okay. The other thing that I'm seeing pop up more is these video information series. This is an agent. He is in the London area. He has been doing these weekly series similar to that kind of like virtual seminar that we're talking about, except this is just an interview with some kind of specialist. So this one was this was more around the beginning of April when this was a little bit more of a pertinent topic. And again, that also reiterates the fact that we need to be quick with our information right now. Beginning of April, end of March, beginning of April, we were talking a lot about rent. We were talking a lot about, was there going to be forgiveness from the landlord? What was going on with the landlord and tenant board, right? And so Matthew, this agent in London, has been doing these weekly series, and they've all been just providing information. They've got a specialist in, I believe this was a lawyer And they're talking about, you know, what is possible for that rent, if there was such thing as a rent forgiveness, you know, how could they defer rent, all of that. Again, we've had that conversation a lot now at this point, but still, you know, your clients in your database are looking for some place to go for information. And wouldn't it be amazing if it was you all the time, whether that was about, you know, real estate or not, right? There's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of, you know, social media stuff that's just being shared around. Wouldn't it be amazing if you were the one that was bringing in some kind of legal expert or accountant expert or mortgage expert on a regular basis so that they can get, you know, meaningful and honest and true information. And then it's, you know, it's something outside of real estate. We talked about this a lot, right? We're always trying to market our listings, market our listings, market our listings and our solds. It's hard to do that in this particular environment, right? So these people have gone, you know, one step outside of, and then they can be remembered all of the time. So every time something, you know, comes up, wouldn't it be great if you were the go-to, again, regardless of whether it was real estate or not. So a lot of these video information series going on. Now in terms of community awareness, you know, I've always been a big supporter of community marketing and really, you know, shining a spotlight on our community. We need to do that now, obviously more than ever. We all know what's happening with our hospitality and restaurant industry and how important it's become to them to be able to kind of work as much as possible and very safe through kind of COVID. So the community awareness is a really big factor, and it's a great opportunity, again, for you to step in as a community specialist, as the go-to for the person in your community, wherever your community might be. So one thing that I'm seeing a lot more of, even over the last like week or so, is these small business interviews. So this right here is my friend Jesse. He's an agent out in Winnipeg with Remax. He is using Instagram TV to do an interview with this delicatessen. It's probably just one that is in his community. He's using an app called Mixcam, where Mixcam will show both cameras on your phone at both sides. So it will show your front view camera and your back view camera at the same time. So that's what you see here on the screen. He's just holding up his phone like this, and the front view is obviously looking at him. The back view is looking at this particular person in the deli, and he's doing a quick little interview, right? So, you know, what are you, you know, how are you up and running? What are you, you know, offering? All of that. What are your hours? Stuff like that. And so he's actually doing a series where he's going around in his community, going in with this Mixcam app and putting that onto his Instagram TV. And the engagement that he's getting is great from probably his community around Winnipeg. And then this one right here is Ara. He is an agent in Toronto. He's doing this Urban Essentials, and he just started it this week. The first interview that he did was with somebody named Fuel Plus. I didn't watch the whole video, but it was business in his local environment, right? So just going in, interviewing, you know, either a worker or a manager or whoever might be in there, ask them what it is that they're doing, and then get that up onto either YouTube, social media, you know, whatever it might be. And also you can share that out to your database, right? You can put that into your weekly email or monthly email that you're sending out to your database, so that you're showing that you are connecting into the community. So I really, really love this. This is a 30 in 30 video series. This is something that I did way back in the day when I was actually selling real estate. Now would be a really great time to go around and do that. This is Shalini. She works in Milton. I'll play it. It's only 1 minute and 40 seconds. Now she's obviously inside. We're not probably doing that, you know, right now. This probably isn't open. This is pre-COVID.
I don't think it has an audio.
Oh, is there no sound on that, you guys? Sorry if there was no sound. Oh yeah, you're saying no sound. None, eh? Darn it. I don't know why. Oh, you know what? See if this works. Sorry. I'm gonna rewind it a little bit there just so you can.
Right in downtown Milton.
How's that?
218 Main Street, very close to Main and Martin.
Works now.
Works now? Okay.
Love this store. It's filled with lots of treasures
Okay,
and gifts
okay,
that you
perfect.
can pick up
Thank you.
for yourself or your friends and family. One of the favorite things that I have that I picked up here are the chakra lava beads.
So I think you guys, you get the gist of that. Shalini basically went around to her 30 favorite places in Milton and did a very easy video. So, you know, a little bit of selfie explaining the place. She did, you know, took a little bit of footage within the store. You know, with the store being closed right now, you might not be able to do that, but you could do it, you know, just from the outside and just get a little bit of flow of the neighborhood. And again, putting that onto your social media, whether it is, you know, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, they've all been wildly successful. There are a number of agents that have used this 30 and 30 over the, you know, probably all over North America, but tagging those businesses in, right? Tagging their Instagram handle, their Facebook handle, mentioning them, lets them know that you are, first of all, supporting them in the community through this time, but also allows them the ability to share that information. So it's a little bit of like free marketing for the business. And, you know, there's no cost to you really. You need a phone, which you probably have. There are many different apps that you can use to very, very quickly edit a video. iMovie comes on your phone if you have an iPhone. Quick, Q-U-I-K, is one by GoPro that you can use that's very, very, very easy to move forward with a video series. This has been wildly successful for me personally. I did a 30 and 30 when I was up north, when I was really starting to kind of get into that video realm. It was amazing for business. And then I did it again when I first moved down to Oakville into the GTA, and it was really great thing for business as well. And it also put me in touch with those business owners and the people that run those businesses, and built those relationships there. So it's a really great idea to move forward with it. And if it's something that you think you might want to do or put in motion, just reach out and ask myself, or you can ask the marketing department as well. They would give you some tips to move forward. Creating a local Facebook group. This is a friend of mine up in Wasaga Beach has started this caremongering. It's kind of like a play on words for fear mongering, but it's just for Wasaga Beach residents during their to share current information during COVID. And so he and his wife have been doing it on a regular basis. They have hundreds of people that are in the group, and they are just sharing, you know, factual information. They're sharing, you know, who's making masks in the area if you want to pick up masks. They're sharing who will do drop-offs for, you know, for groceries and things like that. So, you know, not necessarily in that marketing bubble, something that they probably put forth out of, you know, just their sheer care for the community and wanting to all kind of like come together. I actually just checked late last night. There's one in my local area. So I joined it already to see kind of what was happening there, and just really amazing discussions of people that are trying to help, trying to find a way to give back. It's been a lot of work for Bruce and his wife, I know, to manage this up in Wasaga Beach, but we've got a little bit more time on our hands, right? And so maybe this is something that you can do if you're in a hyper local neighborhood right now, right? Just again, sharing current information about COVID as we kind of move through this, right? I think I went through his group. They're doing some really, really, really good things, right? And we all need a feel-good story right now. Why not be the area where those feel-good stories happen?
So I really love this caremongering group. Some fun activities. We're all looking for something fun to do, I think, right now. We're obviously, you know, kind of limited in those activities. So I've seen a lot of really cool, fun, creative ways to market and engage your sphere over the last, you know, 2 to 3 weeks. And so I wanted to share some of those with you. The first one is actually one of our very own agents, Mallory, who's out of our Dundas office, had a listing in King West and had this really creative, amazing idea to put together a scavenger hunt. So she ran this through her Instagram stories. And what she did was for 10 days, she called it the 10 Days of Quarantine Scavenger Hunt in the real estate edition. So every day for 10 days, she dropped 10 clues, each individual, right? One a day. And then what she did was in her, the link in her bio was the 3D tour of that particular listing. And so she had her sphere go through the 3D tour and try to locate the image. And then once they located it, they sent her a screenshot. And so this is one of them. This is this is one of the clues. Although I'm the tiniest and lightest of many music makers in this unit, I'm still considered grand. And then she put a little teeny tiny hint in. And this was the object. It was this baby, small, teeny tiny grand piano. So really creative, really great way to engage her sphere. You know, I know that she got a lot of engagement from friends and people that were watching, you know, on her Instagram. And then Mallory gave away a gift card to a local restaurant that she is trying to support, which also has amazing, delicious burgers and food. And she also gave away some Uber Eats coupons, right? So something that can be used now, something that supports local, and something that is kind of fun and outside of the box. So now's the time to get creative, right? Now is the time to, you know, how can I bring some fun into this, right? We're all searching for, again, something to do, something that's fun, something that's different, myself included, right? So I thought this was a really fun, creative way to engage your sphere, do something fun. It includes real estate, and it's also supporting local business. This was another one. This is Shalini, actually, who you just saw in that Milton video. She did a crossword. She runs a series that's called Check It Out Milton, but maybe about a week or so ago, she did this crossword or word search puzzle. Sorry, not crossword, word search puzzle. So she put this word search together. She posted this on all of her social media, right? So it's a fun way to support local business and have family fun too. So she did a local search word. So here's how to play, right? So you download the word search puzzle that was in the link that was in her bio. Once you're finished the puzzle, you take a photo of it and message it back to me. And then she picked 3 winners at random and she gave them $25 gift cards to local businesses in the area. So again, something that's fun. That's actually Shalini's daughter who is, you know, kind of getting involved. Again, something that's fun, something that is, you know, not super real estate related, but also, you know, supporting local businesses in her farm area. So again, just outside of the box, something fun to do for family. I thought that was a really great idea. I love this. If you want to get into vlogging, especially right now, we want people to see the real us, right? The real kind of family side. So this is Brad. He is with Remax out in Calgary. Oops, sorry. Let me go back there. Jumped ahead. I don't know why that didn't play. I wanted to play his video.
I'm not sure if you're like us, but we've been quarantined for like 10 days now. Being at home,
30 days.
we decided we're gonna try some new things, as in me cooking.
Thanks to Good Food. Thank you, Good Food.
It's this company that delivers all the ingredients you need for meals right to your door. It's been a bit of a lifesaver for us. All you have to do is go online and sign up. We got a link below. Sign up through that link. You're gonna get like $40 worth of groceries for free, which who couldn't use that right now? They deliver it to your door. It's totally safe. You don't have to leave your house. We're already through 2 of the 3 meals that got sent to us. We're super impressed with them so far. So tonight, what are we cooking, babe?
Quick, going style haddock curry. What's the
First step, I don't know my way around a kitchen. I don't know. I'm so bad at
It's just
cooking.
wine. You just have to pour yourself some wine.
Okay, that's right. That is what you always do. And remember, this is quarantine wine. So this is $8 bottle wine. All the ingredient instructions on the back. We're going to need a medium pot, a large high-sided pan. What the heck is a zester?
It's the salt. The zest stuff.
We're going to use some avocado oil and a little salt and pepper. Let's get started. And then
Stop it there. I think you guys, you know, get the idea. Again, Brad is a very successful agent out in Calgary. He does a lot, obviously, on video. He's very good with the camera, but that doesn't, you know, that has absolutely nothing to do with it. It really is just the sharing side, right? It's him and his wife, and you know, their kids do make an appearance kind of later on, but it's just showing, you know, kind of what they're going through. We're all experiencing this in a different level. Some of us, like them, are at home with the kids and having to worry about school and you know, keeping the kids busy. Some of us are on our own and, you know, trying to figure it out that way. And I think just sharing your story is a great way to kind of connect with your sphere. And Brad had just crazy engagement on that vlog. He had like hundreds of comments on Facebook and a ton of info back and forth on YouTube as well. So I really thought that was just a really great way, again, to share your story, your family story in a fun environment. And it also, you know, I hear a lot of agents are like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Now is just a time to say what you're going through, right? Share what it is, whether it's an up or down or in between. And, you know, obviously giving away the link for $40 of free groceries. Nobody is going to say boo to that right now. Next, hosting a virtual friend or family event. I absolutely loved this idea. We talked a little bit about this with Danny Wood last Friday as well. This was an agent. She was out in BC. She hosted a virtual paint night. I can't remember the name of the company. I can find it for you. I literally, when I was looking it up, just searched virtual paint night and was able to find them. But so what they do is they mail out all of the things that are needed, right? So just paint, which is just those little teeny tiny paint things, and then blank canvases, and they get together and they do this like virtual paint night. I thought this was an absolutely brilliant idea in lieu of a client event party right now. We obviously can't be getting together for those, but this is a really phenomenal idea to get this rolling for your clients. Number one, it keeps you all connected. It's something a little bit different that you can do together. We would do this if we could in a, you know, in a normal environment. Number two, it could be something that, you know, the parents would be super thankful for if their kids are entertained for an hour with other kids all over the place. Gives them a little bit of quiet time, or they can get involved too, right? Either way, I thought it was just absolutely brilliant and something that you can host, right? And one of our agents yesterday was asking about ideas, you know, to send out for closing or something like that. And something like this would be great, right? So if you're normally sending out, I think he was sending out movie tickets. If you're normally doing movie tickets or restaurant thing, you could still do, you know, restaurant for delivery, but this is engaging. This gets everybody together, you know, a thank you from you. And again, you know, whether the parents are involved or not, I'm sure that they would be wildly thankful for something for their kids to do that is crafty and creative. So really, really love that. I will get you, I'll get you the link and I will drop it in our Facebook page when I share the slides for this. Okay. Something else to do is hosting a trivia night. There's been a lot of these that have been going on over the last couple of weeks. This one right here is my friend Tony. He is an agent in Hamilton. He's been doing a weekly trivia night and a variety of different topics. He did Friends one night. He did Sex and the City the other night. I think it was Saturday this weekend, he did this 80s music night. And I mean, he's just getting so many people show up and he's literally just doing it on a Facebook Live. So he'll hit, you know, go live on Facebook, you know, that pops up on my phone. It pops up on, you know, whoever else follows him. And then he's using this online trivia platform that he literally said he just Googled, and he is going through and just doing the trivia. So he reads the questions, he gives, you know, 30 seconds to a minute. Actually, it's probably longer than that. It feels short in my mind, but it's probably a couple of minutes. And then he, you know, gives you the answer. He's not giving away anything, you know, it's just fun. And then people, you know, kind of battle against each other. That would be something that would be great to hold for your sphere, whether it's, you know, just your database, whether it's in a personal group, or it is live out either on, you know, Facebook or Instagram. Or you could do it via a newsletter as well, right? It doesn't have to be online. It doesn't have to be in that social media space. It's something that you could do just, you know, through your regular mail outs, whether it is through email, or if you are still doing some kind of printout. That's what it's called, printout. This one is, this is actually somebody I don't know him other than, you know, on social media, but he's been hosting these quarantine and quizzing Friday night socials pretty much every Friday since this all kind of started. They have been so fun. I don't know, you know, I don't know anybody really that's kind of there, but it popped up onto my social media. I was like, well, I'll do it. And we had a really good time. He's been doing, you know, movie trivia. He's been doing current event trivia, pop trivia, music trivia, pretty much, you know, everything. And it's been really, really fun. So he just put out this event on Facebook and, you know, invited people in, and then he's just asking everybody else to invite somebody in as well. And it's really, you know, again, it's just engaging his sphere. You know, if you have a topic that is important to you, then you could do a trivia night on that. Again, just keeping people involved and active right now and giving them something that's fun, that's taking their mind off of what's going on, and then you're connecting with people on a different level, right? This is one that I actually have been hosting. I've been doing a Women Who Real Estate and Wine. If you know me, I do like to drink my wine. So every Wednesday, I've been hosting this just on my Zoom. It's been super successful. You know, we had like 37 people, I think, the first night show up, and then we were down to like, you know, 15 and then 20. And so it's been a really good way for me to connect with some, you know, agents and colleagues that I haven't connected with in a long time. And it's a safe space for us to kind of talk about, you know, what's happening. So it's been really, really successful for me. I also host a girls wine night on the weekend with, you know, my kind of close friends. And that's been another thing that's been really good just for me also to connect, right? To keep those relationships flowing, and obviously, you know, in all the social isolation, but just a couple of really fun ideas there. Okay, so last but certainly not least, we will talk about marketing your listings differently. We need to kind of change our mindset into our marketing for our listings. You know, again, we've been talking about the fact that even when, you know, the economy does open kind of back up and we are able to, you know, kind of get out again a little bit more, the reality is that COVID is still going to be here for some time. Nobody knows when, how long, but so we really need to look at marketing our listings differently. You know, putting them up on MLS might not just be enough anymore. So we've talked a lot about these 3D tours. There are many companies out there that are still doing them through COVID that do have safety precautions that are in place, but it's going to be vital as we move through this to really have that online presence mastered. So that 3D tour, this is the Matterport tour for a listing for a condo in Toronto. This is what it looks like. It was about $150 from a company called HouseMax. As far as I know, they're not doing condos right now just because of safety issues, but there are other there are other companies out there that are taking a look at or are working in condos. I know that OTBX Air is one of them. Home Launch is also one of them who we have partnered with at the office. I know that we are putting together that kind of resource package for areas or for companies that are doing the 3D tours. But these are going to be vital moving forward for your listings to make sure that you include this in your package. So multiple different video tours are important. I don't think that we can just have one video tour right now. We need to be showcasing these listings in a variety of different ways. This is the kind of standard, you know, video tour, just utilizing the yard, you know, a little bit of word, and then the actual space itself, right? This is, you know, going one step above and beyond the video tour that we're used to. And this is where I think the expectation needs to be from our clients right now. And then, you know, we've got a virtual tour with actual, the agent present, right? So the agent doing a walkthrough.
Hi, I'm Andrea from the Crew Real Estate at Redline Properties, and welcome to 302 Powell Road.
So you saw the little pop up there. I think that was 4 bed, 3 bath, and then the square footage. But again, just having an agent there in the beginning, and then I believe she shows up again at the end. Just showcasing, right? Talking a little bit about the property, about who you are, about who the property is. Again, having multiple different videos is important as we move forward. People are taking in information in a different way right now. And so, first of all, they want to see the property in full, but also to connect to you. I just kind of wanted to play. Oh, shoot. Oh, it's taking me to YouTube. Sorry, guys. I wanted to click on where she was in that video.
Hey guys, this is Andrea from the Crew Real Estate. I am excited to bring you guys my Friday
Is that
favorites.
YouTube playing in the background? Sorry, you guys, just 1 second. Technology is a
I pick a new
mile-long.
listing every week, and I pick out my favorite unique feature on the home.
No, this is
one
actually
not
kind of
only is
good.
it finished
So she's
from
picking
top to
out
bottom with beautiful
unique
finishes,
features of
my
every
favorite
listing,
aspect
right?
is the
And she
rooftop
calls it
terrace.
Friday
Come take a
favorites.
look. This rooftop terrace is unique to Brantford and will be the wow factor at your next gathering.
Sorry, I digress there, but I thought that that was actually really cool. Again, just trying to come up with creative ways to, first of all, show the listing, but also, you know, being able to show your personality, right, through a computer, which is difficult if it's not in video. It's, you know, emails, we don't read them the same. Everybody reads them a little bit differently. Even social media posts can be misconstrued, but more often than not, when you're in front of the camera or you're in front of a person, right, you get to know who they are. You get a feel for what they're about. You can, you know, read all of the things as humans, body language and all of that we need to read. So, you know, we need to get creative as to how we can put ourselves in front of the camera right now and move forward with our marketing. I like that Friday favorites. That was actually a really good idea. Multiple video walkthrough tours. So these are 2 different options of how to do a walkthrough tour that's guided by you, that's guided by the agent. So this one is Tom's story. He's an agent in Toronto. He was with Royal LePage. And what he did was he took that Matterport tour, the 3D, you know, virtual tour that I showed at the very beginning, and he used BombBomb to do a screen record. And then he actually just talked through the whole video. He did an actual
Hey, it's Tom Story
walkthrough
from the Story Team and Royal LePage Signature, and I'm really excited today to give you a full virtual walkthrough of one of our brand new listings at 553 Atlas Avenue. So I know you can see my screen here, so I'm going to pull you inside the house. So this is a detached bungalow. It's right near Eglinton and Dufferin, right near the upcoming LRT. It's an amazing area. Now this property is a 25-foot lot wide with 140 deep. So it's a great lot and an amazing area in Toronto. I want to take you through the house really quickly. So this is our main living room area. You can see that the whole house is basically open concept. So we got a nice fireplace, you pull through to the kitchen, and we've got 2 bedrooms on the main level. So I'll pull you into the main bedroom here. So you can see it looks into the backyard. We've got 1 closet right here.
See, so, you know, I think you get the idea. You know, he goes through the whole house, but it's the little things, right? Like a person can do that obviously, you know, on their own. But if you were pushing, let's say, virtual showings, this would be a great opportunity to send out to other people, whether it's to other agents or not. It's you walking through the home, explaining things that a person might not be able to see unless they're actually physically in the home, right? So, you know, he said looking out onto the backyard. I probably wouldn't have known that because I don't know, without doing a little bit more research, looking at the floor plans, where that actual, you know, window looks. So I really, really loved this. I thought this was really creative. And then he's just uploaded that onto YouTube. And again, this is done with BombBomb. There are other programs out there that will do this. You could do this with Zoom. You could do exactly what I'm doing right now. You could do a screen share, and then you'd have your, you know, kind of face where mine is on your computer. You can use Loom. That is another program that will allow you to do a screen record on your computer. So I just, again, thought that was a really great inventive way to do a virtual walkthrough, or like a virtual showing, I guess, right? Or even a virtual open house, whatever you kind of want to call it. This is just a different style, same idea though. This agent is physically present at the location and she is just doing a walkthrough with her phone.
Here we are at 2770 West Denver Place in Denver. And this home is absolutely adorable. It has a Trex front porch. I'll show you that.
So I like that too, how they put up little Post-its of kind of the features and things that buyers should be pointed out.
2016.
See, so even on that Post-it list, she had new door 2016.
This is the home. It's completely open concept.
See more Post-its there.
And let's look at this cute door.
She likes the door.
Matches really nicely with the older windows. This is a gas fireplace that was new in 2012.
All right, but again, I think that you get the idea. I love these. I love these. These guys are Weston, Maine. They're in Denver. They do this for all their listings. These little Post-it notes.
Days ago, so it's brand new.
Again, you know, probably get the idea. But that was, you know, one video that was taken and it was uploaded to their social media site and uploaded to YouTube as well. So, and they did multiple videos. They did exactly what I've shown you here. So they did the virtual tour, again, just touring the whole property. They did one with the agent present where it was professionally done. And they did this one. So they did all 3 kind of like different video ideas, and they're putting it out in different areas, right? That professional one would go onto your website or maybe onto MLS. This one would be a little bit more for, you know, Instagram or YouTube or, you know, some of the social media sites. But again, it's going to be very pertinent as we move through and we're in an online space more and more and more, to have a variety of different ways to educate about your listing. And then just lastly, a couple of things, professional photography and staging. If you weren't doing it before, now you have to do it. You know, iPhone photos won't cut it anymore. We're spending more and more time online. We really need to get a feel for that space, as well as staging. So if you don't have a connection with a stager, you know, that's working right now, there are companies that are doing virtual staging. So again, just so that the buyer can actually really place themselves into that space. So again, if you're not doing professional photography before or staging, now is the time to start. Also floor plans. Floor plans are more important now than ever as well. People need to know what the actual layout is, also what the square footage is. A lot of those Matterport companies that I showed very first at the beginning here, they do have measurements on there, but I would still go the one step further and actually go ahead and get those floor plans done if your seller can't provide them to you. You know, personally myself, I've been looking at real estate over the last 2 weeks, and the ones that have the floor plans there are so much more attractive because I can actually, again, just see where things might go, what the flow of my life might look like there, because I'm not physically able to go see the property right now unless I really want to see it. So that is pretty much it for this one today. I hope that, you know, you took some ideas there about how to kind of creatively market through a shift. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask. If you've got an idea brewing and you want some, you know, inspiration or some fire, or you want to run it by me, I'd be super excited to speak to you about that. And that's it for me. I hope that you're all having a great morning so far, and that you have a great day, and that you stay safe. Please don't hesitate to reach out should you need anything at all. Oh, I got one question here. Oh, thank you. Thanks, guys. I'm going to put this up on our Facebook if you want to watch the repeat, or everything is available on myremaxultimate.com. Okay? Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you, Jen.